and welcome to That's the Point. This is the place where we talk about construction positioning technology, and as you can see, a little different today. First time we ever did a 3-shot, I think, but it's a good thing because in this episode, we are celebrating 100 episodes of That's the Point. My name is Corey Meyer, and today I'm joined by my colleagues and co-conspirators, I guess you would say, Jonathan Stickle, Jeremy Horn. What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going?
You guys doing well?
Yeah, absolutely.
Excited?
I am excited. 100 episodes.
I know, that's a lot of episodes. I know in marking this occasion, we wanted to take a break from our regular sort of programming to take stock and look at where we started, but also talk about some of the things like just using a little bit of that retrospection to look back and kind of talk about briefly like where we're even going moving forward. Because if I had to say what my biggest surprise was as we began this, and now we're like 100 episodes in, is that it's become apparent that we're really just beginning to scratch the surface on this. I remember when all of us were in the same meeting. We were having our first production meeting, and we were like, hey, if we can figure out 20 episodes, we'll do this project, because we figured then we could do 20 more, right? Mm-hmm. And now I look at it, and I'm like, we're 100 in, and the list of stuff that we have yet to cover that we've identified is longer than it was on day one. You know, and I mean, it just keeps going and going. It's kind of just this perpetual motion thing that started going.
We have different mix of products and things, and FieldLink, which is our main software we use, is actually very simple. And so going into this, it's like, show a couple things, but our customers do so many different things, and there's so many little tips and tricks, things that pop up in different ways that, all of a sudden, 100 doesn't seem like a lot.
Most days.
Yeah. I mean, you think of just the variety of topics we've covered, from layout and scanning and FieldLink Office, and now with Connect. I mean, there's just so many different workflows, and there's a tip out there for every contractor that they can use.
And it's a perfect segue to, like, as we talk about these different episodes, was there any episode or particular topic that kind of like really opened your mind, or was like, wow, that's a real highlight reel in my mind about stuff that you were like, wow, I really can't believe that went the way it did?
I mean, for me, the scanners, we did one episode talking about the differences between the X7 and the X9, and then a couple other series on how to create point clouds and things like that. But just that technology in general, the amount of data and insights that contractors can gain from scanning is just a really cool application and thing that they can use.
Well, and I know that, Jeremy and I were shocked that we can even have that conversation, because when we started with scanning, and we had the previous generation of scanners and stuff, you would never do that in a 5 or 10 minute video. Like, that would be an hour-long video, and you might get through like 2 steps. I mean, it's crazy how far it's come and how accessible that technology has become in a simple, digestible format.
Oh yeah. I mean, the video for me, I guess it was surprising from how it turned out, was the optical plummet video, which you two guys did, and sometimes we're trying to come up with ideas, and sometimes they're faster than others, and quick, simple videos sometimes are great. That one, when I first, where we were talking about it, I was like, okay, because most of our client base doesn't set up on a known point, right? Because we're dealing with trades that are doing resections. Yeah. So I was like, well, but yeah, that sounds good. And then it ended up being like one of our most viewed videos, just to explain about optical plummets. So.
I've been around optical plummets my whole life, and even that one, just doing it, I was like, I'm kind of glad we did this. And like you said, it bore out in reality. Like, it was actually it was a crazy episode. Mm-hmm. I mean, if we take that one step further, has there been a takeaway or a big idea that you've kind of walked away with after these 100 episodes? Because I know we're going to talk about the future in a second. But what's some of the big kind of idea that you leave with after we leave this first 100 in the can?
I mean, really, it was just surprising to me, the actual influence that I'm seeing out in the field from it, right? So I think we get desensitized by, these videos my kids are watching that have a bazillion views. And so you look at ours, like, oh yeah, it's got 1,000 views, whatever. Well, when I actually get out into the field, I'm getting a lot of feedback, a lot of recognition. People, who've never met me, are like, oh yeah, you're in the video.
It is an industry niche.
Yeah. So I just didn't expect it to happen as often as it did. So that is, it feels good to know that, they are getting watched.
This industry is very like hands-on, and we try to make these videos very hands-on too. We're like walking through the applications, or so I think that's very good for our viewers out there, because we can, send them a 4 or 5 minute video to be like, hey, watch this video. It's hands-on. It'll show you exactly what you need to do.
It's a great point, and it's also really helped us on just even at the support desk and in the office, because it does force us to make sure that we're not just taking it for granted. These are the steps you go through. So often we know that menu item is there, but I do like that it takes a little bit of concentration and effort to go through on our side to make sure that what we're saying like matches up with how they would really do it in the real world too. Mm-hmm. And that's absolutely where I think a lot of these ideas, and one of the big takeaways that we have is what are we doing to propel this into the next series of episodes, right? We have a bunch more coming. And, we talk about these ones that we haven't created yet, and there's so much that we've had to learn there. I think that we're really excited about focusing on some deeper dive content. I know that a lot of times, especially you layout guys, we need more time to develop some of these ideas, right? And we've done it with Connect recently. We've had a couple multi-part series. But with layout, there's really some opportunities for us to just go in and dig in and do several episodes like right back to back that are 3 parts, right? Yeah. And going from start to finish on a lot of these processes. I think it is going to be, it's going to be a different kind of flavor to it, but it's going to be a fantastic opportunity for us to dig into some deeper topics, additional perspectives. I think back to when we had Andy from HP here, and he was talking about the team over at HP, their decision making, not just in how they looked at site printing, but how they even built the business model. I think that we're pretty excited about getting some different perspectives and some different voices in here to kind of talk about some of these ideas. And then, obviously new technology. Not to spoil anything, but there is some stuff coming out this year. It's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
And so we've got some new product in the wing that's coming out, and it's gonna be great because we're gonna be able to sit down here and right here in the studio, go through some of that. And it's really gonna be a season where I think we're gonna see a lot of new stuff be unveiled, and we can kind of talk about how it fits into the real world workflow. I just want to really thank you as we wrap up, but thank you guys for always taking part of your day, like doing these, like stepping away from the daily grind to do that. But in addition, there's also a ton of work that goes on behind the scenes to all these episodes, literally every single one of them, from Josh in the control room to Brian in the support desk feeding topics, Cam and Sean helping us in the prep and the setup. It's a huge lift every single time we produce an episode, and I just want to say thank you. And of course, if you have technical questions or concerns, well, yeah, we probably didn't answer them today. So make sure you reach out to your local Building Point representative. They're always there. They're your boots on the ground. They're happy to help. And that's one other thing we've learned, I think, in this process is that your comments are actually kind of key. This would make our job a lot easier. So if you have ideas or if you have topics or issues or stuff that you would like covered, make sure you hit it up in the comments. Jeremy and Jonathan were talking before I walked in. Make sure that you guys reach out. YouTube is a great platform for that. Go ahead and leave it in the comments, and I think you'll magically see that we might actually take your ideas. Yeah. They would love your ideas. Yeah. And of course, don't forget, smash that subscribe button, stay up to date with the latest tips, tricks, and pointers. Guys, thanks again. We did it.
Yep.
Absolutely. 100 episode. Yep. To the next 100.
To the next. Oh gosh. All right. Here we go. We're on to the next. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on That's the Point.
Yes. So speaking of...
Gosh. I did that. I took his spot. All right. So, Jonathan Stickle, what's up, man?
Not too low. Glad to be here.
So we've got a fun topic today, actually.
Yeah, we gotta do that again because I said not too well.
I know. I was like, geez, Jonathan.
Said it.
We'll go with it. This is real.